Mercedes dead, yeah? Let's just get that record out. C63s, E63s, Mercedes. Put them in the back. I built the car for the street. I completely, everyone's saying to me, oh, Verk, you don't dig, but the UK's for dig racing. I always say this, Birmingham's top 5 versus London's top 5. Bring it.
Yo guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Racing Talks, and today we are back with another special episode introducing Verk. But first, a shout out to Detail Kings for letting us use their place, so thank you guys for that. Make sure you lot check them out. Now Verk,
Talk to me.
the first thing I want to ask, and I think this is a story for you to tell more than me,
Sure.
is the story of how we met.
Good question. What was that, 2020?
I think it was 2020, yeah.
2020, I was on my way to Bicester Village with my family in an RS3. Our blue 140 pulls up on the side of me, waves me down like this.
Nah, wait.
No.
It was the other way around.
Nah, I didn't wave you down.
I was just cruising.
Nah, you waved me down. I was
Nah,
just
they're
like,
not
you like 60, or 50.
This is after you come flying past.
It might have been when I'm flying past. Got provoked the 140 owners in an RS3 back and then. And then we rolled up and then we raced and you got tanned. That was the first gap I ever gave, was to you.
Wow.
And then I saw you at an Empire meet, I think, 2 weeks later?
Yeah, we just bumped into each other.
Yeah, and everyone was like, yeah, that's the guy you got.
But before that, you sent the video to someone.
No, I posted it on Instagram.
And I found it.
Because, remember, I bought the RS3 with Aiden. And then Aiden was like, bro, I know that guy. I said, who is he? He's like, one of my boys. Then I bumped into you Empire. And then he was like, oh, there's that guy. I said, oh. And you were like,
Okay, that's a stretch. Now you pushed it. You already pushed it. So obviously, guys, this man has been making a lot of noise recently. I like to classify him as like an internet troll. Like, there's no other explanation for it. So my first question is like, why?
why troll? I think the way the UK's become now is you have to call them out either by a meme or by, even like what Marky does at the moment, the wanted pictures, wanted dead or alive, garages are after. You have to, because I think in this day and age with UK's, no one's accepting a call out just from a message. Everyone's like, oh yeah, I'll come around it, car's not working, this, that. You see when you're on the socials and you mag a meme or a wanted picture, people get vexed. I don't know what it is, but it triggers people. They get upset, garages get upset. They start ringing their customers like, bro, you gotta get outside, you gotta race him. But it triggers certain people. That's why I realised now, when I started the memes, should we say, people were getting triggered. So, why not?
I mean, in terms of like triggering people, how does it affect like the personal relationships with people? Does it bring a dislike to you?
There is that. I think, personally, in terms of like people I know, I don't really send for. Because you don't have to send for them, because you can just clearly ask them for a run or whatever it is, but it's people you don't know. When they start seeing on their mentions or notifications, Verk's tagged you in a post. Yet do they know when they open a picture? Fuck. Wanted. Memed. They're all over the net. And people are sharing it. And with the UK, they love group chats, so they screenshot it, put it in a group chat, start spreading, and then it's all word of mouth. So, but like you said, personal relationship, like all the man them locally, like all the local races, like who's that? Harvey and all them, man. There's no point trying to intimidate people like that. They're all the man them locally, but people that are, should we say, other parts of London, should we say, then we can go back and forth. But yeah, local people is fine. But from a personal perspective, it's fine, because all the boys that I know, I'm not trying to send for them. It's just a case of people you don't know. That's what makes it a bit more exciting, should we say.
Before we get stuck deep into the racing side of things, the first thing I want to ask you, what made you go from the RS3 into the BMW world?
I don't think it was BMW specific. It's just because G80s came out, and they came out X-Drive. Because I remember they first came out, they were rear-wheel drive only, weren't they? And it was, again, it's pointless. Like buying an F80 M3, it's a case of pushing so much power in them, it's just going to spin. So the X-Drives came out, and at that time, the new RS3s came out with the 8Ys, and they were the same price as these. And you started weighing that up. From factory, the BMWs were 510, the RSs are still 400. So the new 8Ys let me down. Otherwise, I would have bought one of those if they increased the power and it was more solid. But it's still the same engine as a Daza, DNWA engines is still pretty much mirror the same. So that's what made me trigger on the G80. The good thing with the G80 is when I bought it 3 years ago, it was no one was pushing them. It was still fresh. They were still quite expensive. I think it was like just before COVID started, prices shot through the roof. They were still going for like 80, 90 grand, like really good spec ones. So I think that's why people were staying away from them. So that's why I thought, let me capitalize on it, jump on the G80 platform, and ever since then, the last 3 years, I've been dominating. There's no one been coming close. That's the whole point. I went G80s to go. Other platforms, B58, even the RS3s at that point, it'd been done. Like Throttle had their RS3. There were some other RS3s up north, like Roberto and the TTRS that Sean had, McLaren. They'd done the Dazzler thing. They'd set the records. They'd doing 8s, etc. It was been done. So there's no point trying to build my RS3 that I had at that point to take it to the next level because it had been done. And to jump from a stage 3 RS3, which I was, to a built RS3, it's mega money.
Big money.
It's big money. And then you got to start thinking in your head, is it worth the jump? Even with RS3s on pump fuel, big turbo, they don't make big power because it's just a 5-cylinder and you can't push them. They're all relying on ethanol. And we know these days, ethanol charges an arm and a leg. Was 110 quid just for a barrel.
Yeah, 19 litres.
And you need about 3 barrels to fill up a full tank. So 300 quid for a fucking full tank, you're thinking, raw, I ain't got time for that. I'd rather push as much as I can on pump fuel. So again, that's another selling point that came with the G80s is the 6-cylinder S58s. They're good power on pump fuel, especially if you go single. But yeah, that's the whole reason why I went for G80s because it was never out. I wanted to attack on a platform that had never been touched, be the first one to it.
Yeah.
And like I say, man, the last 3 years I've had it, I haven't seen this still not to this day a fast customer car, let's be honest, out there. It's really rugged. I know there's quite a few stage 2 cars out there now, but still, when I was there, no one could keep up.
Big statement. Big statement. Now, obviously, knowing all of this information that you know now, would you ever revert back to another brand in a sense? Would you go back to Audi, Mercedes?
I don't think so. I think because Audi, first of record, Mercedes dead, yeah? Let's just get that record out. C63s, E63s, Mercedes. Put them in the back.
Okay.
It's only Audis and BMWs.
Yeah.
Let's be honest though, Mercedes. Let's go back to Mercedes. Do you know anyone that's had a fast Mercedes ever?
What's fast?
Something that's, I don't know, let's say 900, 1,000 brake, that moves. Because the Mercedes gearboxes aren't great.
Yeah.
And then, like, when you push big power on them, I know the old 6.3s, their gearboxes are sluggish. Even though they have my big power, like, and there's some people doing the superchargers, it's just the gears will just show shite.
I think the gearboxes are good in the sense of like they hold the power.
They hold the power, but the way they shift is so sluggish. So if you're trying to do a 100 to 200 run, it's not going to be great for even like for a 1,000 brake Mercedes. But yeah, going back to your point, it's Audi and BMW, isn't it, really? But like I said, at that point when you asked me when I purchased this, there was nothing really out 2-3 years ago for Audi. There was obviously the RS6s, the 4s, but no one was really pushing them. I think Jamie had an RS5, I remember?
Yeah,
I think 3 years ago he pushed that, and even he proved that it wasn't really it wasn't worth doing. You spend so much money on them. Even like with the Audis in general, it's like the RS tax.
The RS6 is mental.
It's crazy. It's more than the M. It's more than the M. Like when I know personally when I had the RS3, because I had 2. The first one I built, it was like 15 to 20 grand you spend on just a stage 3 setup, and it's 600 brake. I know all the BMW boys will laugh at that because a B58 you put a downpipe in the tune and a little bit of ethanol, 600 brake. 5 bags, 6 bags.
Okay, nah, not that high. Not just with a downpipe and a tune, you're not hitting 600. Very unlikely.
Okay, with a hybrid then.
Yeah, with a hybrid, yeah.
But with the B58s back then, when the whole rivalry is, they're a lot more torquier than an RS3.
Yeah.
They can handle the torque because the engines on the Dazzlers are a bit soft to handle torque. So, but yeah, like you said, like you were asking then is, back then, yeah, it's only Audi and BMWs.
So if you put a price point things aside, like X out of the equation, just as a brand or out of cars, what would you lean to? Because I know you came from 3 RS3s.
Two.
Two, sorry.
Two.
So I'm just trying to wrap my head around, like, RS3 clearly had a big soft spot for them.
Yeah.
6-cylinder BMW.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around that.
I think with the RS3, like I said, it was because I had 2 stage 3 RS3s, so it's hard going from another car. Because I was gonna buy at one point, I was gonna get a 911 Turbo S. I think it's a 991 1.1. I took them out driving them stock form. They were horrendous. They didn't really excite me. And then for the price tag, I think they're like 120 grand. And then you start adding it up. It's like, well, hold on a second. RS3s are 40 grand. Stage 3 of them, still, they felt better than the Porsche. At that point in time, shall I say. But I'm trying to go within price budget. I don't want to go spending stupid money on a car for no reason. Like I said, the RS3s are, I think still to this day, still one of the best cars you can just drive around, even stage 2 of them and just lick them on back roads. It's fine. They're perfect cars.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're pretty much known for.
Yeah.
Just downpipe, intercooler, hit the roads.
Yeah, that's it. Intake, get an API intake on a little tune. And the OTS, remember that. All RS3, most solid tunes are all OTS. You see with BMW now, I realise the MHD, you get custom maps. Even BM3, it's all custom maps. With the VAG platform in general, it's more OTS than it is custom out there, from what I was seeing. So
I don't know too much about like the tuner side of things and how refined the tunes are for the VAG platform. So, but I know, yeah, MHD have their own set of maps, BM3 have their own set of maps, and then you can then get the different custom tuners like to remotely send you tunes.
Yeah,
like, it's very accessible, very simple with the BMW.
and you can't do that on the Audi platform.
No.
Because I know recently they brought out DS1,
which allows similar sort of
similar
interface,
protocol. I don't know if you can still email a map as simple as like MHD, but going back then we had to rely on people like APR for VAGs, Revo, and people like that to really build OTS maps. Go to a garage as a dealer and buy a map. Again, they were stupid expensive, 1,200-1,300 quid just for our map. And that's not including TCU.
Yeah, mad.
So this is what I'm saying. This goes back to the point of building an Audi. It's just in general, I think any Audi, they're expensive. So, and like I say, with the RS3s now, I think you can get them for a good price now. What, 30, 35 grand? A facelift, an 18 plate.
Yeah.
I still see people jumping into them. So they're a perfect car.
I'm not gonna lie, for as long as I can remember, like RS3s have always been fluctuating at 35k, 40k mark. It's like they don't move, like they're fixed there and they just don't go anywhere.
No, they hold very good money. I think it's just the all-wheel drive system, and I think it is a practicality for everyone because they are all four doors, aren't they? There's no two-door RS3s, so again, that's another reason why people buy them for families.
Speaking of the four-wheel drive system, this being a four-wheel drive and X-drive, you had a Quattro before that as well. Which one do you prefer out of the two?
Depends on what you're after. So Quattros are a lot more stable. Don't confuse X-Drive with Quattro. I made that mistake a few times. I think the first day I bought this, because I come out of the RS3 Quattro system, I'm thinking, yeah, have it around bends. Stock form, these cars come out. It's crazy. Traction on, not traction off, just traction on. Going around roundabouts or like tight bends. This was coming out. I'm thinking, fucking hell, you're coming from an RS3, you're thinking, yeah, put a foot down.
Yeah, the worst that happens to the RS3 is it might understeer a little bit.
A little bit, but you can control it, it's fine, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to start spinning out. And the problem with these is, because it's all-wheel drive, when it spins, you can't correct it. It's not a rear-wheel drive just to correct it, to look correct. It's a four-wheel drive and cross your fingers and hope you don't die type thing.
Yeah, because your front wheels are dragging you along to the correction, yeah. But while with DSG and ZF, what would you prefer out of the two?
DSG or ZF? For launching, the DSGs aren't great. I think the ZFs are doing wicked, I think, in general. Everyone, you can see it by everyone doing times now. The way they're launching is excellent. I think the ZF boxes have changed the game. I think they dragged them from a Hellcat, didn't they? The American guys were using the ZFs first, originally, and now the BMW started throwing them into their
BMWs, I think, have always been using them. They just didn't use them in the M cars.
Okay.
So this is the first generation of M cars that they started using a ZF.
So there you go then, yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe production cost might be cheaper.
So I think going back to your point then, from a dig, the ZFs I think they've proven themselves to be a lot more. But even on a roll, I think the DSGs are good as well. to be fair. The Audi boxes are wicked. And the RSU, they're wicked. They shift well. It's like an R8 box. They shift well on a roll. I can't complain from a roll. RSUs are, or should I say, the DSG boxes are good.
No, I think they are good. I think it's just the launch. It's a bit.
That's where the weak part is.
You wait for the clutches to dump. That's what the difference.
Yeah.
With this, it's continuously spinning, so
Yeah,
it's just let off the brakes and
gone.
Gone.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
now brings me on to like originally. How did you ever first get into cars?
How did I first get into cars?
Yeah.
It was with my old man. So since early days, he was always into his cars. So like Escort RS turbos, like Sierra Cosworths, Ford Capris, even like VR6s supercharged. I've all been brought up. My old man was always buying them in and out. So I think from early, I've always been into cars. From that perspective. So like I say, yeah, that's where
That's where it all.
that's where it's come from. Like I said, I've always been in. He's had all the old school M3s, the Bimmers, like I say, all the old school Fords. Been in RS turbos as well. I forget my name. He had about a ton of those. You know,
Yeah,
the classic
because-
dump
yeah,
valve. Bro, when I was a
Cars.
kid, they were sick. Like just listen. You're thinking, bro, what's this?
Coolest thing in the world. It
That's-
reminds you like Fast and Furious movie. I think that's
Exactly. So yeah. So to answer your question, yeah, it's come from my old man. Been brought up around it. To be fair, he actually had a Sierra Cosworth. It was like 800 brake. Now imagine this was like probably about 15, 16 years ago, and back then 750, 800.
so it's 2010.
Yeah, but that shit was stupid to have something like that. I remember going into that. That was stupid because it was manual. First, second, yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
Second to third gear, different ball. You're thinking, raw, this is crazy. So that's when speed started coming about. You're like, raw, you know what? Big power cars are quite fun, aren't they? But yeah, that's how my influence of cars have come about.
If I do my maths correctly, if you had about 800 horsepower 2010, that's what I'd say. That's like having 1,500 horsepower
Probably
today.
back to now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
you're probably right.
if we're doing inflation right.
Yeah, because
There's
I think
inflation and power as well as economy.
crazy. Yeah, because I think back then, 2010, the GTRs just came out, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, sorry, 2009 they officially came out. Then 10s started coming out, and they were like 550 or something like that.
Yes.
And people were raving about those. But imagine you got 700, 800 brake in a old Cosy.
Yeah, and people I think were raving about the Evos.
Evos
The
are nice.
Honda
as well.
started to like
Mhm.
were doing their thing as well.
Yep.
Turbo Hondas. Out of nothing was like 800 horsepower.
Nah,
It's
that's what I'm saying, man. That was a fat turbo on that. That thing was mad.
Yeah, see, that's something I want to experience. Like even to now, like that'll be.
You know what
mental.
it is? Them old school cars now, you don't see them anymore. But they're all parked in garages because they're worth big money. Because I remember when my old man was buying them, it was like, they were like 5-6 grand.
Yeah.
Now, you try and pick on RS, like a Cosworth or a turbo, RS turbo, you're looking at 50, 60 Gs.
Easy.
So
Easy.
most of them cars you won't see anymore. They're just parked in garages, and
It's a shame though, man.
it is a shame.
I'd love to see one of those just being out on them.
Outside, just having it out, it'd be sick, innit?
Yeah. Then I feel like with the older cars as well, like you see more of the driver side of things.
Yeah.
It does focus a lot. It hones in a lot more on that because these are not point and shoot as people to make them seem out to be,
Yeah.
but they're somewhat point and shoot in comparison to
I think,
old turbos, lag.
I mean, power. I think that goes back to power. I think stock form, you're right, they can be a bit point and shoot. It's not like an RS3 point and shoot because they shoot, even like the S3s,
Yeah.
point shoot, gone. These, I think it comes back to any other car. Depending on power, the point and shoot starts to lose that capability. I can't point and shoot this car anymore.
Yeah, of course.
So that's gone. Even stage 2, to be fair, when it was stage 2, it's a bit hard to point and shoot because the stock turbos are a lot torqueier. So you can't just come out of bend and just put your foot down, otherwise mid bend. So yeah, I think it depends on cars for point and shoot.
That's 100%. Now, generally,
Mm.
so what we're used to like interviewing garages who go mad on their builds.
Yeah.
And obviously that's understandable because they want to build a brand,
Yeah.
a name, whatever. You're a normal guy.
Yep.
Who's bought a G80.
Yeah.
Like, not everyone can afford a G80 as
I
it
hear
is.
it, I hear it, yeah.
But then to follow up with that, you've put another G80 in your
Yeah,
G80.
yeah.
Why?
Why? I think, like I said to you, when I was when I initially bought the G80, it was to keep on that status of having the fastest or just having the quickest G80 at that point. So the reason why I pulled the trigger on this one, I think, was it 2 years ago? Everyone was talking about, oh, I'm going to come outside. People are building this. People are building that. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, you're building this, you're building that. And I'm thinking, all right, my stage 2 kind of reached its max now because it was at 800 brake. And I think it's that division between power and then too much power, the next level of candidates.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, you're in the middle place and it's a bit difficult. I had that problem when I was stage 2. Was,
You're too fast for everyone else.
yeah, but
and
then
you're nowhere near fast enough for anyone
exactly,
above
you're
you.
stuck in the middle. So then I was like, I got on the phone to Tom. I was like, Tom, what are we doing next? Because Tom knew that we were dominating the streets. He was like, we can go build, because originally I wanted to go hybrids on this. But I think Tom built a car, DNA's car. DNA's car. It had a set of TTE 940s on there. They weren't making that much power. They made about 950, 960. I'm thinking, if you want to spend that much money, like you're saying, in the car, you don't want 900, do you? You want 950.
Before we get into that, so obviously, you had your RS3 that was stage 3 before, right?
Yeah.
Which, to me, that was fast. I remember seeing that car was fast. You're beating GTRs, 700
Good night, that one. I just remember that GTR, the good night. That was the green GTR. I remember that day, fresh.
Did you not feel like that was enough power in itself?
You're right, it was quick. The car was quick, but like I said, it goes back to you're raising the states. You're too quick for guys under 700 brake. The boys above you now, or a bit above you. So it's that urge for power, innit? You realise, I think with the Audi platform, because they're so good to putting the power down,
Yeah.
you don't realise you got 700-800 brake on tap. You don't feel it.
I can't lie, like I did go on that car, I felt boring. Sorry guys.
I remember I took you out there, didn't
It was
I?
boring.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie, but I didn't even crack a smile. Like, the only time you realise it's fast, you take a glance over the speed and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, or you're racing someone and you realise that he's got power and you realise you're just walking him.
Yeah.
So, like that GTR got whooped. You were in the camera car that day as well. I remember that, just walking in by like 10 cars.
No comment.
But that was a good day.
No
But but back to your original point is, it's power. It's like, well, yeah, I'm faster than all you guys. But go out to the B58 boys back then actually as well. You lot were all trying to race me when I was in the Audi. It was like that's when I started realising the whole Audi and BMW B58. That's B58s were getting tanned from early. I've been tanning B58s for years, and they're still getting tanned. Do you know, ain't shit changed. When I was in the Audi, everyone, I don't know why, all of a sudden they were trying to prove a point of stage 2 with ethanol, and they're trying to run me on my pump, stage 3, RS3. Yeah, cool, they probably are about similar power, but there was always that wall of, let me just showboat Audi just to put try and put a gap on it. But they tried it, they all failed. That man was still getting tanned, and you were in there as well with government name. Tanned. So, but anyway,
I'll throw my hands up. Your RS3 was definitely fast.
Yeah, it was quick. So
it's faster than 140, I'll tell you that.
But your one feet was stage 3 at that point, no?
No, we were racing stage 2.
Okay, fair enough. So
I didn't even run ethanol.
Stage 2. Yeah. I mean, but yeah, like I say, the rivalry back. That's when I started realising what's all this rivalry about? Because I wasn't really into the scene back then. I had an RS3 before, and I was just enjoying my life with an RS3.
Yeah.
Then I think when I sold my original white RS3, then I bought Aiden's RS3. Then that's when Aiden started introducing me to, I think, you guys in general, when you were going to car meets and stuff. Again, I was never part of that scene. I was just doing my own thing, having fun.
Yeah, that's just, I think like majority of people like that. Just fun and then
Yeah, you don't need to get in this whole car scene malarkey. But then, like I said, when I met into you guys and then things started getting in, even going back to that point of that first race with the GTR, that was probably my first time really coming out racing, to be fair.
You had a little trick up your sleeve that day.
There was a couple of tricks on that sleeve, innit? Couple of tricks, because I learned that from you guys, man. Hanging around with you guys for too long, everyone saying, oh man, I'm using pump anyway. I'm using pump. And then bro, like these men are running ethanol. I'm thinking, what's going on here? That's when I started realising what ethanol was. I was like, well fucking hell, why are you all using ethanol? I'm using a pump fuel here. And then yeah, I think to this day and age, it's still that game of pretending to be on pump, but really you're on a fucking E50 60 mixed. I just don't understand it.
You know that's gonna be used against you.
I mean, no, like I said though, it's gone back to the point of when I was originally in the game, I started off in the RS3, I wasn't really doing it. It's only because I started watching what you lot were doing, I'm thinking, well, you lot are scumbagging like this.
I didn't do it.
You, but not the whole posse, innit? The team over there.
I'm not involved.
But
I was just watching and just laughing in the sidelines.
yeah, but yeah, like I said, going back to that day, it was a good day.
Yeah,
Sorry, I was going back to the point that was my first time actually going outside and racing, because if I go back to the original story, I think it was a case of someone in your group chat was talking about how these were slow or something, and then someone added me into your, I can't remember what it was called, your graded group chat, I think it was back then, when I was still alive.
That was good fun.
Yeah, someone added me in there, and that's when, so, oh, you come race the GTR, because this man's saying that all Audis are slow. So I got summoned, and all of a sudden I was like, all right, cool, come out.
Nah, I remember, you know what, before we went out to race that day, yeah, I remember just hopping in your car and I just see a little,
Smirk.
nah, not smirking, a little E-counter in the corner, but no one's realised, because they didn't really know.
There's not, with the RS, no, I never had it.
On a Digidash.
Never had it.
I swear you did.
Nah, I had a Fuelit Bluetooth one on the phone. I never had an RS3 with it showing on analog.
I thought it showed on analog.
Nah.
It was something that, I don't know, there's a way I clocked. And I was the only one that realised.
No, I think I told you though. I think I pulled you this out. I was
after
like,
I pulled it out of you.
it might have, and I said, yeah, this boy's getting smoked tonight.
I was just there like,
I think that's at that point when I took you out for a drive, I think before.
yeah.
I took you out, I said, let's jump out quickly, see what gone. And then, and then time came and...
Guys, we call this one sandbagging.
That's sandbagging, yeah. Scumbagging, whatever.
Yeah, it's just underplaying your figures heavily.
I don't know why people do it, but I've had to do that because people, you know, this whole motto of 600 brake, or people are like 650, 651, 652. It's like, what the fuck? My man's like 800 brake, but he'll be, I'm 650. I'm thinking, raw, the math's not mathing right now. So sometimes you've got to come to a battle with your full, shall I say, your full kill map, innit? You're not coming to a battle. It's like bringing like a knife to a gun battle.
Yeah.
You don't do it, do you? Or I've realised not to do it. I've some burnt bridges of realising, don't bring a fucking knife to a gun battle.
Yeah.
So everyone now just comes on full kill. Just expect that.
It's gone from, there was always one person bringing a gun to a knife battle.
Yeah.
And now it's like, everyone's just bringing
guns.
Guns.
Yeah, it's straight
Full
guns.
stop.
You just don't know if someone bringing a rocket launcher or fucking M16. That's the problem. But yeah, I think that's where we're at now, is everyone just coming to full kill.
Yeah, no, like, because of all of this, like, we've gone through in the last couple of years, it's trained your eye to know what power something is just by looking at it, if that makes sense. So you can see how a vehicle's moving, and you know the rough tax bracket is in power bracket, and it all stems from people lying about their powers. Like, it's taught life in a hard way. That's the best way to put it. Now, going back to obviously being a personal and building such a powerful car.
Yeah.
What gains do you receive out of having that? Other than, let's be real, just your ego being stroked.
No, it's about putting shops to bed. Because I always sat there in the background just watching people like,
So your ego being stroked.
It's not that. It's a case of, like shops that build customer cars, promise them X amount of power, it can achieve this. When they come and start racing me, they're like, shit, why am I getting tanned? I remember when I ran this was stage 2, there was a gold M5 that ran me. He was 900 brake from DMS Automotive. We all know how happy their dynos are. He come out 900 brake. I was on pump fuel because I was like, oh, okay, fair enough, might as well run him. And he was quoting 900, I was about 700 at that point. Again, he was getting tanned. That was a funny day, that one again. After I tanned him, he was straight on the phone to Tom the next day. And then Tom built his engine and gave him a retune.
So that leads me on to my next question. How did you ever end up getting to Tom and getting him to tune and build your car?
So why I went to Tom to tune, I think at that point in time, Tom was the only one tuning G80s. At that point in time. I think like everyone, I was watching Ricky's channels, and Ricky went up there. Well, actually, Ricky had built his F82, got retuned by Tom, didn't it? And I know he went up there, did a video, etc. So that's what made me think, hold on a second, from a BMW perspective,
Just to stop you quickly, this is Ricky from Living Life
Living Life
Fast.
Fast, yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
look at Ricky, because he was doing videos. He did 1 or 2 videos with Tom, didn't he?
Yeah.
From early,
Yeah.
when they had the 240, etc. So I realised Tom was about, but I didn't know any Tom cars from, like, especially from London. I did not hear about a car was tuned by Tom, or outside. It might have been tuned by Tom, but just never outside. You know how they are.
Yeah.
But I never. So I thought, I took this opportunity to say, all right, cool. We'll jump onto getting tuned by Tom. So I gave Tom a bell. Tom was like, calm down. And at that point, I said to Tom, the first time I see him, I was like, Tom, I need to build the fastest G80 out there. And he goes, mate, let's do it. So we did it. So we started with the stage 2. Came back outside when I was stage 2. And then, like I said, what was that, last year? Yeah, the following year. That was 2 years ago when I was stage 2.
2023.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Come outside stage 2, everyone was getting peppered. I think everyone started realising what these were really about. Because again, like I said to you, tuned G80s at that point in time, there was none. It was pretty much me. I can't remember seeing another G80 that was tuned at that point in time.
There was a couple wrench cars, I think.
But I just never see them, no.
Yeah.
I just never saw them. So, like I said, I was outside stage 2, and then everyone was getting gapped on that stage 2 map.
What, you know, at the point you were stage 2, did you know you were going to go further into the build, or was it like?
No, not really. To be honest, when I went stage 2, I thought that'll be it. But then, you know, when you get so
Hooked in.
yeah, you get hooked in. Like, people are like, oh yeah. Like I said to you before, when we finished 23, that year 23, everyone was like, 2024, bro, we're coming out big builds. People were saying that, or they were gassing, saying, I want to go single turbo this, big turbo this. And you're thinking, okay, all right, maybe I might have to up the game a little bit to keep up, because you don't want to get left behind. So at that point in time, like I said, I got on the phone to Tom, 23, yeah, that was year 20, end of 23. Tom, what's the next steps? He goes, let's do it. Let's build the engine, do the gearbox. And like I said before, I was only supposed to go hybrids.
Yeah.
But
doesn't look hybrid to me.
nah, that shit changed quick. That shit changed quick. So we went single, and then yeah, we're here.
See, I know everyone is probably thinking the same thing as me right now. Well, there's 2 things I'm thinking. The first thing being, how much did it cost you? And the second one being, what did you do to afford this?
Big questions there, mate. Big personal questions. Now I'm messing. I think price-wise, honestly, I've been like completely transparent. I think you're looking about probably 35 plus. I think that's what Tom offers his packages, or obviously you've got different garages, probably get cheaper, but it's just quality. But I think for a simpler setup, because remember, like I said, this is a single.
Yeah.
The singles are a lot more expensive because you'll buy the whole kit, manifold, turn down pipes. The hybrids, you just buy a type board and stick it onto stock housing. It's not a whole change, so it's a cheaper alternative. So you don't have to spend that big money. I think you can probably get a 1,000 brake G80 for about 30 grand. If you work it out, I know it sounds like a lot of money.
It's not a lot.
It's a lot of cash. It's a lot of cash.
Yeah.
You know what it is with these builds? That's what I always say to people. It's not you can't finance builds.
Yeah.
You need the cash to chuck at them, to do that, to bigger these big builds. So, like I say, 30 grand get you 1,000 brake, but you need to compare what's going to get you 1,000 brake in the real world out of production. Nothing. Or you can, the SF90s at that point and shit like that, but they're like 200-300k in it.
They're close to 300k.
There you go. So if you work that out, you can smoke them on a 1,000 brake G80. So that's what you got to weigh out the differences. And your second question, it's a big question because everyone always asks me for some reason, but what'd you do? It's what I love though. Is the answer is just a normal guy with a normal job, man. 9-to-5 job. It's not. I'm not a garage. I'm not one of these people that, you know, like, I think this is social media. I think this is because of social media. Everyone thinks you have to be a YouTuber, you have to own a business, you have to be scamming people with join my link to get money, bro. Like, it's
raw.
You need to understand though. Like, before
that was dark.
Before going back to what that stuff was about, people were making their millions on 9-to-5 jobs. Yeah. It's not. I think now with the whole Andrew Tate stuff, everyone's like, oh, it's a rat race, or the whole deception now of working a normal job is
What's
gone
wrong
out the
with the
window. Everyone has to be scamming, doing something dodgy, or have to be multimillionaire on businesses. It's not that deep. I personally know people that are living excellent lives on their off 9 to 5 jobs. It's not that deep.
It's a very normal thing to do.
It is. But it shocks people when people say, "Oh, but how do you afford this?" You can do it. Just put your head down, graft. You can definitely do this. I'm not a special person. This is what I love, though. This is what I represent. This was going back to you before. I'm not a garage. I'm not a shop. I'm not representing anything. I'm not trying to sell anybody a product here. I'm not trying to build anyone's engine. I'm just a customer that's paid money for a build, and it works. And I think that point, it does hurt people's feelings because there's people out there that spend a lot of money with garages, and their car don't work. Cars I ain't seen in like 3-4 years to this point. They spent really good money. Look at Max Hendo, for example. Very good example. Hate to bring him up, sorry Max. But
My bad.
like obviously the poor guys like spent big money with Williams, and that car, I haven't seen that car for like 3-4 years.
Yeah, I guess in that sense, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So and I think Max is in the same situation, a customer. But again, I think it goes back to who you go to and who you trust with the build. But like I said, going back to your original question is just a normal guy, 9 to 5, nothing fancy here. Guys, you can build cars like this. Just using normal life is not that deep.
Verk just said, just work hard. That's what you have to do.
Just put your head down, find something you're grafting in. I
Yeah.
specifically craft, if you ever want to know, in tech. So that's where my head space is. I don't build engines, I'm not mechanically
You're
known.
a tech, bro.
Yeah, I'm in tech. So I'm a tech man. Asian culture, innit? It's Asian like a, the typical saying, innit? Oh, IT or something like that. Yeah, so it's usual stuff. Like I say, mate, just normal 9 to 5 stuff.
No, gonna get into the spicy side of things.
Go hit me.
The first question I have for you,
Mm.
the name Green Goblin,
Yeah.
where did that come from?
I think that came purely, that's based on the colour. Purely on based on colour. And you
Yeah.
think about characters who are green. You got Hulk, but they don't slap. For some reason, the Green Goblin just sat there and I was like, you know what?
It's got that villain effect.
It has, innit? It has.
Yeah.
And the way I was moving when I was stage 2 was like villainy. So you needed that type of, the Green Goblin kind of suited. So that's how it came about. And it just stuck ever since, to be fair.
So currently, what is your build like at the moment? In terms of power, mods?
So let's go with mods. So mods is fully built engine, fully built gearbox, so pure drivetrain solutions gearbox, overkill performance single turbo kit with a 72-75 next gen turbo. Honestly, I think I'm just trying to think of anything else. There isn't anything.
Fueling?
There's an additional, low pressure fuel pump. We've got twin low pressure fuel pumps in the tank. And honestly, just thinking, it's as simple as that.
Port injection, injectors.
Yeah, you've got the fueling side of things, like manifold for cooling, but it's still stock cooling, stock rads. There's
completely stock, right?
stock,
Fairs.
oil cooler, stock, transmission cooler, stock. That's I know when I say it, it feels so simple, and everyone's like, "Why do you spend so much money on that?" It's because you start deep in the parts; they're quite expensive.
Yeah.
So like I say, single turbo kit, built engine, built gearbox.
When you say built engine, is it like rods, pistons?
So
or
rods,
the heads?
pistons. So rod, pistons, Carrillo pistons, rods. It's the extreme kit on that. It's got the 62 ARP 625 head studs and main kit. Upgraded bearings. It's all a 5150 kit. That's been
The race bearings. Yeah.
all that stuff. Like I said, main studs, bearings.
Cams.
Yeah, we've got cams, Kelford Stage 2 cams, retainers. So the head's like semi-built. It's not been ported or polished, so it's still stock-ish. It can stay. So yeah, it's as simple as that, and it's been built by Tom, Rob, and Joe, the guys out there. So big shout out to all three of them. Yeah, so sorry, but I fucked that one up because I thought you were
I had
going
a
to do
beat,
something.
my heart stopped.
Yeah, no, I stopped because I thought something happened. Rewind. Yeah, so big shout out to Tom, Rob, Joe. You know what I mean? They built me a car.
These
and
are the boys,
Mike.
Tom
So-
Wrigley.
Tom Wrigley, yeah, the guys at Tom. So they're all the guys that work for Tom. So like I said, Tom, and then Rob's doing his own thing now. So RR Autosport. So big shout out to RR Autosport, by the way, as well. So Rob was the original guy who built the car. But it doesn't skip a beat. So excellent work there, Joe, and especially Mike Ball as well for the tuning. So again, they built me a car that works. Again, this is what going back to the point is when I was saying to you, go to garages that are correct.
Yeah.
This is a proven solution. Is go to a garage that actually is expensive, but I'm not consistently worrying that something's going to break or it's not going to work. The whole year it's been fine. Touch wood, it's been fine, and we're still outside.
What are your, in terms of future plans? Have you got any plans for it to go further, or you're tapping out? This is you done for the day.
Yeah, but it's hard. It's hard you say that because you start to realise there's too much power, especially for the street. You start to realise 12, 1300 brakes, too much. Can't hook as well, and then safety. But in terms of going to the next steps, I would like to push it a little bit more because at the moment we're running around probably about 45 psi.
Wow.
But I want to try and hit for 50, 52, 52, I think, max cap out there. But the problem is, again, going back to the point of I'm just a normal person, I've got to plan to spend more money to do that. And then you've got to realise the realisation is it worth it? To spend an extra, 10 grand on it? Is it worth it?
What do you spend 10 grand on from here onwards?
I think it's probably a gearbox. I probably would have to go to like a stage 2 box.
Okay, so at the moment you're on a stage 1 box.
I'm on a stage 1.5 because the reason I say 1.5 because this box has been directly sent to Pure. So
Okay.
Pure have like done something quite specific with them where they do heated and treated baskets.
Okay.
You can't get that from just a normal someone trying to build them. You can't. That has to go specifically with Pure. And I've got the stamp on the box saying Pure. So that's only when you get gearbox gets sent from there. So it's like a 1.5. And to be honest with you, these stage 1 boxes, man, they're holding really good power at the moment. I thought they would slip, but honestly,
Been alright.
yeah, it hasn't skipped a beat. Box is fine. This is what I'm thinking. On the box, I could probably keep it as it is from a roll, but from a dig, if I need to get onto this whole pod situation,
Oh, good. Because we all know you as like, you're the street man.
I built the car for the street. I completely, everyone's saying to me, oh, Verk, you don't dig, but the UK's shit for dig racing.
Mm.
It's not fun. It's not. Where do we get opportunity to do that? We're not like America. We don't shut down the street and do a dig race. I understand if we did. We don't do that. The only people who are going to is Santa Bod. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't.
I get that.
It's boring though, isn't it? If you go to pod, it's just what I find. Yes, you race, you line up whoever you line up. That little 2 minutes, cool. Come back around, but
Whoa, what quarter mile is 2 minutes long?
well, I mean, yeah.
Nah, I'm taking
I mean,
piss,
yeah,
yeah.
but like, get your race over and done with.
Yeah,
Come back and it's like, well, this is dead.
I get what you're saying.
It's not that exciting. You see when you go to Mexico, or wherever you want to call it, you get the hands are shaking, everything's shaking because everything's on the line. It's like, I'm about to get violated on the internet. It's like all that, you factor all them things. I think with Santa Pod it's more mutual, it's understandable, it's more respectable
Yeah.
because things go wrong. So everyone's like, they don't.
I think at the same time it's more mutual because the people in the streets haven't diagnosed it yet, I should say.
What, the whole pod thing?
Yeah.
I think so. But problem is with pod is,
It's seasonal.
it is, and it's like, how many events do they do a year? 10.
There's a lot of run what you brungs, so I'm not gonna lie.
A run where
There's
you
a lot-
bongs that shit in it.
There's a lot of run what you brungs, but in terms of events, it's still a good amount.
Don't get me wrong, like door slammers and that looks fun, looks really lit.
Yeah, door slams are sick.
But for me, this goes back to the point of me being a customer. How I picture pod is for companies to prove that they can build a fast car. For me to go down the strip and run at 8, I'm not going to get any satisfaction out of that. What am I going to walk home and be like, yeah, put it on my forehead, I run at 8.4. I don't understand it. This is what I don't understand is the car only works for guys who specifically built the car. I understand it, it's safety, etc. But I like to daily this car. I like the car that I run every single day. With the pod car, Pacific drag car, the guy pulls his car up for Santa Pod events, cool. But then on a daily basis, probably running around in a Prius or something like that. Well, it's like, bro, like, you spent all that money in the car and it only pulls out as and when.
Yeah.
That's my only concern. And like I say, I'm not a garage. I'm not trying to prove a point to say, I run an 8, I can build your car fast. It's a case of money, budget, practicality. Because when you get to a real track-driven car, You've got like a massive fuel cell in the back. You've got an ice box.
Yeah, once a car hits that drag racing phase,
It's finished.
It's done for the streets.
It's not a street car. And like I said, my whole point is it's a street car. You'll catch me around driving the car normally, doing normal chores, just living a normal life. That's what I'm saying. Drag cars are too specific for me. That's why I've never really got into it.
Yeah.
Because I could go and put like an ice box in here, but I'm like, bro, that's my whole back seat's gone.
And when the ice melts, like, you're done.
It's gone. It goes back to that Tom's G80. It's got a massive fuel cell on the back and a massive ice box. That's not a street car. That's a Pacific drag car.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't want to get to that point, because all my stuff's just drop-ins, and you can't see anything. Okay, except from the single turbo. If I had a hybrid, you couldn't tell at all that this car would be pushing the power it is.
Store looks very, very like
OEM-ish.
OEM.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, that's what I'm saying. I go back to the point of just, I get it. I get Santa Pod. I get why people go safety, etc. I completely get it, but
It's just not for you.
it's not for me. Like I said, it goes back. It is purely how I see it. For garages to go there to prove a point that they can build a fast car, it works. We can do the times. Then it obviously opens up a business for them to say to other customers, "Oh look, we build one of the fastest cars. Come to me. I clearly know what I'm talking about."
Do you not ever want to, like, even for your own sake, just go to Pod and try get that 8, mid-8, whatever? It's like, I could do everything at once.
The car's got a car, 100% an 8-second car. Because I know when Tom originally went out in his black one, I think when he ran at 8.7, he was running the same power I was on this setup.
Which is
So about 1150 wheel.
1150 wheel.
Yeah.
Okay. So just shy of about 1300 brakes. give or take.
I think
Maybe a bit more.
a bit less, I would say. I think about 1250 possibly. If you want to play it correctly.
Calculating right now. hold on.
Yeah, I think it's like, I don't know. You know,
Just shy of 13, I'm
let's say. So he did an 8.7 in that car. And even I spoke to Tom about this a few times. He goes, "Look, mate," he goes, "your car's definitely an 8-second car. It will do it."
Have you got a high stall converter in there?
No. So
Okay. Yeah.
again, this goes up to the point of when I built the car, it was only specifically for a roll. It wasn't for having a high stall transfer case. All this stuff adds up. I think the high stall's another $2,000. The transfer is another $2,000.
4 bags.
For
Yeah.
what? For I understand if, like I said, go back to if there's a lot of dig racing around here. The scene in the UK for racing is not great. The only event that I really enjoy is Race Wars. That's a really good event
Yeah.
because you can do dig and you
And
can do a roll, and it's a fair surface. You know, like with Santa Pod, it's very specific because it's a prep track. You got to have drag suspension. You got to have the Hoosiers or the Mickeys on. You got to be very tailored for that track. You see, with like things like Race Wars.
You know, everyone's coming on the same vibe.
It's just it's
Street cars.
It's all
Yeah.
street cars.
Yeah.
Because you know for sure you can't run a Mickey on a runway at Race Wars. You're not doing that because you're not going to hook. Everyone's going to come on normal street tires. It's going to be a laugh, and everyone can just run identical setups. Again, that's what I love. But other than Race Wars in the UK, there's no other events.
No.
I really wish that the UK was like the Americans. You know how they got like Bimmer Invasion,
Yeah.
Bimmer vs. the World,
The Impact.
yeah,
and all of
Impact,
that.
2K. I think I thought about this the other day actually. If Santa Pod increased their runway and made it a roll, I think that would open up a lot more doors.
I think that would be a massive game changer.
Game changing, because you can imagine like 2K how big that gets
Yeah.
with the lights. You know, when you literally go do a roll,
Rolling, yeah.
gone. I think that would open up a market, especially for me. That would, because then, if you think about it, I'm not going to break anything, or I'm less prone to break something from going from a first or second gear
Yeah.
on a dig. I think for normal cars, I think everyone would be up for having a laugh to go for a roll race.
Personally, I think if Santa Pod did do something along them lines, it might X out street racing completely.
Which is good in somewhat, because I get the safety, but again,
Yeah.
I completely understand the whole safety perspective of it, because when you get to a certain power level, the street's not safe anymore.
Yeah,
I get it.
100%.
And like you say, if Santa Pod did something like that, or someone else did something like that, game changer. Absolute game changer. But like I said, other than Race Wars in the UK, I'm just trying to think off my head, there isn't anyone that's really doing events like back to back. Because I think Race Wars, again, I wish Race Wars did something like every month.
Yeah, they do it like this.
Every 3 or every 4 months.
I think it's 3 times a year in total. if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's a problem. You're thinking, oh, I want to build in a car just for 3 months.
3 days of the year.
I know,
Yeah.
it's a problem. But again, it goes back to how US boys are. I watch them all the time. All them boys running beadlocks on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Because they go to events. There's always events on. And it kind of grows the whole audience to build stupidly fast cars because they got the tracks to do it. They got the services to do it. You see with the UK, it's like, no one really wants to build cars
I
like that.
also think the best thing about the American scene is there's somewhat of a remuneration or reward system where having a fast car might actually get you places, or it might you go spend X amount in your car and you can have an opportunity to make your money back.
Yeah, you can.
Like there's these events where pots to the end of it, or we don't have much of that here.
No, you don't, and I think it's just
Anything.
Go back. Sorry to go to a more of a boring point, but it's just a case of I think it's just the way the economy is in UK, the way life is. Life's expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Guys doing stuff like this is not. It's not really more prone. You see in America, everyone's got a build like this. The amount of people I see on Instagram with single turbo G80s. If I was over there, I would just be one of the crowd.
Yeah.
But the fact that I'm here in the UK, let me just think. There isn't another one. There isn't another G80 with a single turbo, except from Tom.
Custom.
There isn't one. There isn't a single. There's none. So, again, this is why it kind of shines me out of the crowd, because everyone thinks fast G80 in the UK, you automatically think Verk.
Yeah. Okay.
But if I was in America, bro, there'd be so many fast G80s there. People build a ton, and I think parts are cheaper, etc. We get slapped with the customs, the VAT.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't get me started on that.
You know what I mean? We get slapped with that.
Customs, like they make everything just not worth it anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you think about it, I had to spend $2,000 just for shipping the gearbox to Pure. If I was in America, all I had to pay was $4,000.
And now you paid 6.
You pay 6 for what?
Yeah. 100%.
I could have put that towards the Stage 2 box, really, if I wanted to, but I can't. Because it means the prices keep going up.
Yeah.
10 grand, 15 grand, I'm thinking. And again, it goes back to the point of, do I really need that? Not really.
So, obviously now we could dive into like the spicy side of things. Over the last, I'd say maybe 2 years or so, had quite a few races.
Yeah.
Where you've been causing some havoc.
Big
Probably-
controversy.
I like to say it's where you really became a troll from.
Well, I came from a troll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most recent one, just Birmingham.
Hmm.
See a lot of commotion between you and Birmingham.
I think, look, I know Birmingham got fast cars. They've got some serious fast cars in terms of like brake horsepower wise. They got some fast cars there. But from a realistic street, I've never heard of or seen a race from a Birmingham guy racing like a London guy. Because we've got fast guys, we've got fast people in London.
We do, yeah.
And Birmingham people, don't get me wrong, they've got fast numbers. I've seen them. Even like Ricky's old LLF GTRs over there, 2000 brake. There's some serious power there. But from what I've seen on the net, I've never seen like big power cars from Birmingham race. Yes, sure, you get the other like less than that, 600-700 brake, cool. But I'm talking what I'm going for here, the big hitters, the guys who spent a shit ton of money on their cars.
6-figure guys.
Big, let's go on. Like, there's a load of GTRs over there at big power, and to get GTRs big power, that's a shit ton of money.
6 figures.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
no ifs and
100k
buts.
plus builds. Where are they? They're just rotting in the garage. What I'm trying to do with the Birmingham, the whole real question there is, yes, there are fast cars there.
Yeah.
Prove themselves. Come, let's. You got to, innit? Though
That'd
you got
be
to do it for the
very good to
culture,
have
though.
still.
Have a laugh. That's not just for Birmingham, by the way. Anyone up north? I don't know any Scotland guys up there.
Yeah.
Or even down south, going down Portsmouth area. Bring them. I want to see them. Like,
Guys, let us know if you don't want to see that. So where we section off the different cities and everyone
gotta-
brings 5 of their fastest cars
yeah.
and we make something happen. And I think,
I think we're onto something there.
yeah, I think that'll be good stuff. That'll
Yeah,
be very
like,
good
you know,
stuff.
like America, they got like Florida, they got New York. You know, they
Yeah.
got their own thing.
The little states.
Here, it's like, I'm getting tired of just us London boys going against each other. It's a bit boring now, isn't it? Because everyone's turned into like man them and it's like, well, I'm racing my boy. Pointless. So let's get like proper rivalry where all of us London boys get together and we start challenging everyone's top 10. even for bread.
That'd be good. That'd be
Guess
very
that
good.
because you were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
But we're not about that culture. So let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, like,
And I completely respect people that say we don't want a street race. Fine, race walls. I'll ring Ricks who runs it. I said, well, we want to line them up. He'll get them out. We've got the runway track there. Bring your top 10, top 5. We bring our top 10, top 5. Whatever categories. Power brackets. I don't know, like 800 to 1,000 or 1,000 plus.
there's a car for every.
There's a car for every car. I always
Yeah.
say that to the guys up there. Is that we've got a car for every car. So let's do it, man. Let's do it for the culture. Let's have a laugh.
I think that'll be good.
And then London's on top. I said it here first. London is on top.
I can't have no comments, but
You got,
I'm a London boy at heart still.
yeah, everyone's got the London boy. Like I said, I always see the London boys going at it. Like I said to you before, I don't see like anyone else in the country that's really going at it.
I think with everyone else, they're more like in-house within themselves,
Probably.
not in the sense of social media.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's more like we see each other and we're both at the same function. Like, yeah, my car's faster than yours, we gotta
That's
have
it.
it out.
Yeah.
But it never really makes it out far, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying to us London boys. Everyone up north sees us when we battle each other.
Yeah.
They've seen the videos, they've seen everything. They see the memes. They know what London boys are on. I just don't see that type of thing over there. I don't know if they're more civilized, but you know when you're battling racing cars, everyone's got that little
Yeah, of
competitive thing
course.
about. I just don't see it. I don't see nothing about people. Oh yeah, man beat him or him.
I think they don't really have the troll that we have. Troll.
I'm one of trolls. One of
No.
many.
The next race I wanted to ask you about is the one with Cam Panzer.
Cam Panzer.
Yeah. So I think at the time it happened,
Hmm.
you two might have been the only stage 2 G80s that I could have thought of off the top of my head. There wasn't really anyone else
I
outside.
think so. I think you might have been right. But to be fair, remember I think Cam had come out 6 months after I had come. Because he was fairly new, wasn't it? That white one.
I think so.
So I came out afterwards and was doing my thing. Yeah. So I remember that night. To be fair, you actually initiated it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it was a Sunday evening. It was about 11:30, 12 o'clock, midnight. I get a call from Mo. I'm thinking, well, what's Mo ringing me at 12 o'clock at night? Pick up the phone.
I did initiate it.
He did. He did.
Yeah, I didn't.
But I was getting ready for work for Monday. I'm in my bed. And Mo was ringing me. I'm thinking, bro, what's Mo doing? So I pick up the phone. Mo's like, DMO and Cam, I'm calling you out. They're right here down the road. Come run them. I said, oh, bruv, what? I said, no, I was trying to investigate what they on. Is this an ethanol thing? Is this a setup? Because you know what these man are? Like, couple man on, setup thing, draw them out. Man's there probably with hybrids and everything. Trying to mule me into a little nest and then just did a bit more investigating. I thought, you know what, fuck it. I'll calm down, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that was like November time, wasn't it? It
Uh,
was like end of the season technically.
yeah. It was about November mark still.
So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just come out. So we came out, rocked up, we went to the spot, met both of them. Then mysteriously, an hour, they disappeared. So we were sitting there.
I think you went off and disappeared. And
So
came
I
back as
actually
well.
generally went to get petrol because I needed fuel.
Yeah. You went to get E.
I went to get ethanol because I heard out that my man here is on ethanol. So I'm thinking, all right, okay, at least make it fair. So I think one of the boys had some ethanol, a bioethanol, shitty ethanol bottles. I just filled it up in. And then I come back and then them man gone. They're like, yeah, they'd gone. So we sat there for about an hour and a half waiting.
Yeah, we were there for a minute still.
We were there for a while.
Yeah.
So they went to get their kill map. But later, we'll get onto that point, what kill maps can do. But I'm pretty sure they went to get the kill map, come back. Because obviously at that point, I think everyone knew I was about. Because like I said, it was the end of the year. So that whole 8-9 months before, I was already smoking everyone. So everyone knew that my car was fast.
Yeah.
And they needed something faster to beat it. So these boys went to get their killer map. And then come back. And then we ran it. And I think that was the original video that went viral. I think that span everywhere, didn't it?
Low key.
That one span everywhere. So if everyone doesn't know how it turned out is we ran a few times that day, and I think it was on the third run. Phew, smoke. White smoke. I think it was black smoke or white smoke, I can't remember. the camera blowing up the blown engine.
Was it a blown engine?
It's hard to say to this day. People say PCV valves. Obviously, people are going to hide it, not ever going to be truthful and be like, yeah, I smoked my car because I was trying to beat work, blew up. No one's going to ever admit that. So it was flagged as PCV valve. From what, you can smell type of burning. That didn't smell like a PCV valve. That sounded like turbos are gone. They said good night. Something, but all I know that night, that was the same night the RS3 went out, Throttles RS3 went out to run him, didn't he? After he called him out.
I don't think that was a fair race.
It wasn't.
Really and truly.
It wasn't. You're right. But I think there was some commotion before that when they had thought that racing. They raced Aiden's RS3, didn't they?
Yeah,
they thought it was Throttle's RS3. They ran him. Then there was a video going online of beating a Throttle Motors RS3, and then that's how it spiraled off, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. You're right.
Because then they were like, hold on, so that's not Throttle Motors RS3, that's just another mate's OTS map. Then that's when the commotion came about. It was like, run me then tonight. I think that when that video, DMO posted that video of saying smoking a Throttle Motors RS3.
Yeah.
And I think that caused a commotion. And then that same day, they ran. I think that's the same night. Because I wasn't supposed to run that night. It was them two running tonight, which I knew.
Yeah, them two were running, and I'll be honest, it just was not fair.
Which I understand.
I was like, let's make it a bit more fair with Korvak. And between the two races, I think you won both of them.
Yeah.
And then the third one is...
Good night. Turbo left the chat, or engine left chat. One of them, we would never know the truth, but one of them left the chat.
Damn. Yeah, that was a dark day.
It's mad, mate. People are just trying to keep up with me, man.
I think the main race that everyone wants to know about, like, caused the biggest fuss for a while, was the race with you and Messi.
Okay, yeah, me and Messi, yeah.
What was your take on it?
What do you mean as an outcome of
Your actual take on the race?
Look, it was everyone's seen the videos. It is a good run. It's a very good run. How I see it was top end. You can see I'm pulling. I know Mess has. To be fair to Mess, he said his fifth gear was slipping or whatever. But this goes back to the point when he ran the RS3. That RS3 wasn't working, but still claimed the W. So it's a bit unfair to say, well, my car's not working. I can't claim it is. So as it stands, I'll take that W.
Okay, so you're gonna claim that W?
I'll claim that W, man.
Because on the day, I remember, like, I think I deemed it like, we can't really.
It was hard to deem.
To deem a winner, and I thought we were gonna run it back again. But now you're concluding on that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna conclude on that because I get it. I had the one misfire. I get it because I think the ethanol misfire just been. I think it was one of the first runs because it took us forever to run that day, didn't it? We spent like an hour, 2 hours just trying to get runs. It was because my 360 camera died. I only got one. Literally from that 360 camera, when we first initiated where we only got one run.
Yeah.
And then my 360 died. Then the races that I did win, which someone probably does have, and did a right click delete, them ones are gone. So they vanish. You're never going to see the footage of them races. But the few I did have from people outside the vehicle and the 360 just shows. Like I said, it goes back to the point of I know Messi's car was having issues from that fifth gear. Fine, not doubting that. But when you're there and then anything can happen. Like I said, I go back to the point of the RS3 when it wasn't working. He claimed the W with that when it wasn't working. So it's the same thing, isn't it? So, and it's funny actually because he did a podcast with you guys before saying certain things.
I feel like I know what's coming.
Nah, it's just certain things, you know what I mean? Like I was saying, if I remember correctly, he was like, bring the Goblin, because the car was getting built at that point when you lot did that TRT video, didn't you?
Yeah.
And he was like, bring me, he'll just send me back to Tom's, but bruv, I sent him back. I think he went the other way around. I sent him back. Oof. And I haven't seen him since. Mess gone quiet. I've actually heard that he's selling up that 140.
Nah, there's no way. I don't think.
I don't know. That's rumours. I know there's a lot of rumours here, but people were like, "Oh, he's selling up."
I don't think. Knowing Mess, I don't think I ever sold that car.
Fair. No, it makes sense. There's a lot of money spent on that car, and if you go back to let's be realistic. What Mess has done to that 140, he's done everything to that 140. Stroked engine, stage 3 gearbox. He's got everything to that car. What does it weigh? Like 400 kg less than me, or 300, let's say.
Yeah, about 300. Yeah.
on that night, I did anticipate messages to go. Like, if you from a parts list, if you think about it on paper, stroked engine, stage 3 gearbox, that car's got everything to be pushing mad power. But for me to, I'm not going to say I walked him. It was a very good race, and I think to this point, there isn't anyone that's really, from what I've seen, has given Mess a run for his money. From what I've seen, I think, I don't know, clarify that one. I'm not sure, but I've never seen someone in a BMW give Mess a headache.
Yeah.
And goes back to my point earlier of saying, I'm just a customer. I'm not a garage. I'm not, like Messi's car's his garage. He's got endless.
Yeah.
That's his shop car. That defines him. But for me, just a normal brown guy like me, just come out of nowhere. Choo! You know what I mean? It's like, well,
It's an ego stroke.
it is. Well, that's what it was, though, isn't it? I know I saw Mess was going around on videos and saying fastest BMW, this, that. And I don't think to this point there were any fast BMWs. To be fair, there've been really fast BMWs about.
On the streets, I wouldn't say so.
That were X-Drive as well, because Mess had his X-Drive, didn't it?
Yeah.
I know there was like 140s floating about. They were fast, but they're rear-wheel drive, so they're not going to hook. But like I said, I always go back to that point is people need to understand I'm not a garage, just a customer, built a car, and I've come and claimed that which was the fastest BMW.
In regards to the RS3 as well, what would you think? I don't think you've raced them yet.
Everyone keeps asking me that.
What do you think will truly happen? Be honest.
I think it'd be a good run. I know they got the rolling anti-lag on them cars as just different breed.
Yeah.
It can put you like 2-3 cars already ahead on the jump. But since then, I have put rolling anti-lag on this car now. I didn't have that before. So when I think when I raced Mess, I didn't have rolling anti-lag. But since MHD Plus came out,
Yeah.
Tom slapped on the rolling anti-lag. So we've got it as well. But I know the Audi's put it down a lot better. I'm not going to say it and lie. But it'd be a good run. And now, for everyone that doesn't know, me and that RS we have run years ago when I was stage 2. And I think they were on a hybrid turbo, but built motor, built stuff, which was a hybrid. I won't say what happened to that race, but it was a very, very good race. I think that was like one of the first races I ever had coming out of this car.
Yeah, it was.
And I could go back to the point of G80s went about then. No one knew how fast these were. When I raced that day with Harvey.
That was your first day out, I think.
Yeah, I think our second day out. It was literally. I remember ringing Harvey, I was like, bruv, you want to run the G80? He laughed. He goes, you sure? Because obviously, I get it, the RS is fucking fast.
Yeah.
Even that point when I think it was on TT855, that shit was fast. And if you like, obviously you're thinking, oh, why is a stage 2 guy trying to have a run with me? Then we ran, it was a very good day. And I think that's when everyone started realising how fast these cars are.
Yeah.
But no, definitely, I know me and Harvey can definitely race. We were supposed to race at Race Wars, to be fair. I did ask to race him at Race Wars because I think it was the first time. I know he ran Tom, but Tom's not a roll racer. Remember that. So anyone trying to beat Tom from a roll, don't count. So I'm just saying Tom ain't built for rolls. I've seen it. I always make this joke with Tom personally. Tom, stop the roll racing. It's not for you. But from the drags, Tom's there. That's all him. But from a roll, it's a whole different ball game. And especially if you're running on the street, there's a lot of
variables.
Exactly.
So obviously, I know that RS3 beat Tom's car on the roll.
The G80, yeah.
The G80 was coming back. It just didn't have enough room.
You know what it is? You got to remember though.
Do you think you would give it a better run?
I think I would. The reason I say that, Tom's turbo has got some. He's got some fuck off turbo on that car, like a massive one.
Yeah.
Like an 83, 80 or something, or 60 or something like that. The time that spools,
Dark.
it's gone. The RS is gone, isn't it? See, with the lower, I've got the 72, 75 with a smaller AR back housing, so it spools perfectly fine. That's exactly why I went back to a small back housing on this car, on this turbo. It's to spool fast. So I'll give it more for a run, especially now with the rolling anti-lag. It should help to try and keep pace rather than having such a fat turbo with someone that's got a really good anti-lag. And like I said, just puts 2-3 cars on them instantly.
Yeah.
With this, I think we'll give it a better run. And like I said, if I turn up the power...
Well, he's talking smoky.
Nah, it's a very, I think it'll be a very good run. And like I say, it goes back to the original when you asked me in the early beginning is,
Yeah.
Harvey and that are local man them. I got no satisfaction out of beating the RS3. Same thing, you can't viol him, like how I do. But you can't.
Yeah.
It's just local man them. I'm good with them people. They're all local boys. I'm good with Harvey, Curran and that. But from a local perspective to see how our 2 car sits, I'm 100% down to run. 100%. We can definitely run.
I think we need to make it happen.
No, we can definitely make it happen. I always said it. I've never
to.
shied away from it. We can definitely do it.
I think now the weather's a bit shit.
No, don't do
There's
it
no
now.
point now.
Nah.
Yeah, but over the next couple of months, yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
when the weather gets better, it's coming soon. Whenever, July, August, whenever the weather gets better, 100% run that. It'd be good to see where the car sits. Both our cars sit. And it's good understanding of RS3 platform and G80 platform. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just good, and how much money you've put in from the Audi. Because like I said, to get to throttle motors, big money. I think you spent nearly triple what I've spent in this car. So it's a real eye opener to see how good these platforms are. So yeah, 100%.
Okay. So now we have a new section, guys. Quick 5 questions.
Quick 5 questions.
There's no. All you can answer is yes or no. Nothing else. Favorite racing shoes. Favorite racing shoes.
But it's got to be the Air Maxes that I got on now.
Air Maxes for
Got to be, man.
Manual automatics.
It's got to be automatic. If it depends on what
No,
you're talking. Okay, automatic
straight.
Yeah.
Okay. NA or turbo.
Turbo.
4-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive.
4-wheel drive.
4, 5 or 6 cylinders.
6.
2, 3 or 4 doors.
4.
Mercedes, BMW, Audi.
Can't believe you even said Mercedes in that question. But
I knew I should have just put BMW, Audi.
you should have put BMW Audi in it.
Okay, BMW,
Everyone
Audi.
scraps Mercedes. BMW.
Ferrari, Lamborghini.
Lambo.
Oh, that's weird. Porsche, McLaren.
Porsche.
Digidash or analog dials.
Digidash.
Bucket seats or comfort.
Buckets, man. It's all about spec game, man.
Reliable daily
Yeah.
or reliable race car.
Nah, reliable daily.
Or reliable race car.
So like reliable daily, what you're saying is like a Prius or something, what?
Just, I don't know, your typical 3-litre diesel, 2-litre diesel.
Oh, okay,
comfort
sorry, I
car.
thought you meant like a reliable...
Like, or even like a stock performance car.
Okay, then we'll change that to reliable...
Race car.
Yeah, race car, yeah.
Yeah. What would your ideal UK car scene be like?
Ideal
Car scene.
car scene.
Yeah.
Ideal car scene. Less people doing pops and bangs.
Facts.
That's what I hear.
I hate
Bro, this
that.
is why I don't do meets anymore. Oh, well, I never was into meets, but you go to a meet, people are just doing boo, 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 boo. And then you know what? It's always the dingers in the Golfs doing boo, massive flames. I'm thinking, oh, relax. Like, my ears are cool. I get it, do it once or twice, but anything else is too much. So the UK car scene, I think, is less of that. More, I think, less egos. I think more coming together as a unit and actually trying to create something rather than just...
Yeah.
I think the UK at the moment, like I said, is just toxic group chats. That's what people in UK are known for. And just a little bit of ego bashing. But nah, I think... I hate to say it, but like US scene, I know it's hard to get to that point. If you can get more to US, but this goes back to even people that have got venues, to allowing people to do more venue stuff.
I think that's what it needs a lot more of still.
Yeah, it needs that support. It does need that support. And I know people are not really on it in the UK, and I think that's why it's hard to get it. Because I personally tried to get airstrips and airfields to get booked out to do runs. People are just not on it. Just not on it for whether it's security, safety, whatever. Just not really on it.
It is a difficult thing to manage, but I think we're going to get to the bottom of it one way or another,
But,
eventually.
Look, race walls can do it.
Yeah.
You've been to their event.
Yeah.
It's managed perfectly well. There's no reason why you can't do it. There's honestly no reason why you can't. It can be done. It can be done. You just need a space. It's just really hard to find like a whole mile road or runway, you want to say, that someone will hire out.
You know what it is? You need more than a mile, realistically.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
It's hard to find out. It's not here.
Yeah, because with a mile, you still need like...
Time to stop.
Time to stop. Time to launch. So the actual distance of racing might be a quarter mile because you're going to need a quarter mile to stop and maybe a quarter mile before that for the safety and everything.
You don't want to end up like the other place, the run.
No comment.
Because all I've seen on that place is people crash.
Yeah, I don't think I have any runoff.
There's nothing. They've got hay bushes, haven't they? Like
Yeah.
hay bush. And all I see is videos, just people. Is it an eighth or something? What is it? It's not even a
I
quarter.
don't
Is
know.
it?
I think the entire thing's a quarter.
Right. So the problem is, by the time you're on it, it's too late because you've got a break.
Yeah.
So you've got to be careful with venues like that. People crashing. Don't want that.
No.
Just want safe stuff where people can just get away from, should we say, street racing, and have a nice little venue to go to.
I think any like tarmac companies and someone that owns a bit of land, shout me, please.
Yeah. Shout us. Let us know. We'll get something arranged.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, guys, to wrap up the video, we're going to put Verk's description in. Yeah. Start that again. We're going to put Verk's details in the description so you lot can go link. Make sure you lot check out Detail Kings as well.
Make sure
Anything
you
wanna
guys
add?
cop a hood as well. Next lane.
Make sure
outside.
You next lane. Is there anything else you want to add?
I'm going to leave you guys with this little cliffhanger. So, this was a quote from another video of yours. If Mess beats RS3 and RS3 beats Tom, but Verk beats Mess, what does that mean? I'll leave you always with that one.
Does that mean you beat the RS3?
I'm going to leave you boys with that one.